Hello there and welcome, my fellow travelers. This is the Travel Inspired Podcast, and we are your hosts, Rob and Kerri Stuart, coming to you from the beautiful CMV studio in Windermere, Florida. This is episode number 159.
And some of you may know that we were gone for over 2 weeks back in March for River Cruise Expo. And this was one of the longer times that we've been away from home, but we love going to this every year.
This has become a yearly thing, so we were also at one of our favorite places in the world, the Danube River, and that's what this week's show is all about. And we're also going to talk about the top 7 misconceptions about river cruising and why you should join us on the Danube River in Europe next May in 2026.
And this past March trip was very special to us because we started by spending 3 nights in Budapest, Hungary with our friend and business partner Jen Lee and her husband. And she also just recently christened the AmaMagna on the Douro River as the official godmother. So you can learn more about that on show 158.
And that's what's really cool is that it's a partnership that started during a conversation at an outdoor cafe called Marty's, which is in the heart of Budapest, again, 2 years ago in 2023, which is why this reunion of sorts was so special to both Kerri and I.
So we were going to be at the same event this year, the Asta River Cruise Expo, and we told her we're going to be doing this 2-night VIP cruise on Riviera ship, MS William Wordsworth.
That one's hard to say.
It is. I had to do it really slow. And she said, oh, so are me and Randy. That's her husband. So let's go to Budapest a few days early and we will celebrate at Marty's.
Okay, so that was an instant yes from us because we really, truly love the city of Budapest.
Yeah, so let's get into our main topic for the show this week, and that is how to cruise the Danube, why it's a popular river for first-time cruisers and repeaters, and then we're also going to share those top river cruise misconceptions. If by the time we've gone through all that, you're still like, I don't know if river cruising's for me.
Trust me, you're going to love it. One of the top reasons to sail on this river is that it is a perfect mix of grand capitals in multiple countries, also some of the best little towns and villages along the way. So there is so much variety on this river.
And another reason is the number of choices you have for your daily excursions, because those are included and there are a lot, but it's a good mix of if you want to be super active or very gentle.
Of course, there are also some really good food options, wine excursions, etc., like you would expect on a river cruise. One of our favorites, because we have done it twice and we're going to do it next year. I promise you, if you join us, we're going to do this. And that is the Taste of Slovakia. Now,
yeah, it was so good.
They say it's a food tour. It's a beer tour.
It was a beer tasting, but it had one of the best charcuterie boards. And
that is true. Yeah.
It was so good. So I'm looking forward to that one again.
Oh, we're doing that one for sure.
But the Danube is also a great river to revisit because you can go during different seasons. You know, you have spring season, which is going to be very different than the fall season, like when they have things like Oktoberfest, or during the holidays when they have Christmas markets.
From a traveler standpoint, you do not want to do it like we did this year, or a couple of years, is at the Asta River Cruise Expo. We do it in March. I remember we woke up one morning in Linz and I was like, it's 30 degrees. What is going on? So you definitely want to do this.
That's the total off season. We're giving you the best pro tips here.
We're giving you the best season. So autumn is a great time for active travelers because it's getting cooler. And during autumn, you're going to see some of maybe the grapes still on the vines because there's a lot of wine country around there. And of course, the fall foliage.
Now, the Danube is also a great itinerary for families and multi-gen travelers. So here's just a little sample of some of the cities and countries you'll visit on a standard itinerary. And what's really fun is you get to go to so many countries in just a 7-night itinerary.
That is correct. So one of our favorites, and I will say the best starting city on the Danube, is Budapest, Hungary, because you can go north or south. You can go north like we're doing next year, or you can go down south to Bucharest, Romania. And if you're not sure where that is, just think Dracula. But when you are going to do Budapest and go north, you're going to cruise by the Hungarian Parliament building. That is what we call an obligatory picture opportunity.
Yeah. Another stop is going to be Bratislava, Slovakia. And this is one of my favorite little cities because you can hike to the castle or you can do that tasting tour like the one that we've done twice. And it was phenomenal.
This is one of those cities where you're going to find so much history. We did a really cool tour about the Habsburg dynasty I'm not even going to spoil it because if you want to know more, you should go with us. Now, this next city is one of our favorites in the world, right up there with Florence, Italy.
Yeah, it's right up there.
Right up there. And that is Vienna, Austria. It is also the capital city. And this is really known as one of the most livable cities in all of Europe. Lots to see there, starting with the Schönbrunn Palace. And music lovers especially, this is going to be one of your favorite places in the world.
Yeah. Now, the Wachau Valley is the next thing you're going to see and experience, and it is stunning because here you're going to have no shortage of excursions to choose from, like walking through the Dürnstein vineyards, or you could even do a really active hike to one of the town's fortresses. Pretty cool.
I love fortresses. Or even better, a tasting of local apricot wine, which is, it's okay. It's, maybe I can do it a little bit.
It wasn't your thing, but they also have like apricot treats.
I do like that.
There were like some apricot chocolates and stuff.
So our next stop there is also Melk, where you can visit the Melk Abbey and pick up some monk beer. And yes, it's made by real monks. If you didn't think monks still exist, you need to come join us.
Now, Passau is sometimes on certain itineraries, and this was a really cool stop and had one of the most interesting churches and history. And the same goes for Salzburg.
The last stop on this cruise on the Danube on the AmaMagna is a town called Vilshofen. And I will say for 5 years I pronounced it wrong. If you read it, I don't know, as Americans, we're like, it's Vilshofen. No, it's Vilshofen. We learned that on our last cruise. And this is where you're going to experience an exclusive Oktoberfest event, which AmaWaterways does this all year. And they do it right on the dock. They have a tent where they have beer and dancing and
music,
lederhosen by the yard. Everybody has lederhosen. It was an amazing event.
It's so fun. Now, if you really want to plus up your river cruise, you can do an extension to Prague, which is the capital of the Czech Republic. And it's also known as the City of Spires. So lots of really cool things that you can just add on to your trip.
One of the best things about this ship, in particular the AmaMagna, is that Rudy Schreiner, who is one of the founders of AmaWaterways, he's known as the godfather of river cruising. He helped curate the actual itineraries. And they do have some small differences. So if you have a city on your must-do list, you'll want to make sure it is on the port list for this specific cruise.
And what I like about the itineraries is they include that mix of larger cities like Budapest and Vienna, and they do have overnights there. So you can enjoy the nightlife in those cities, which I think is really cool.
I agree. There's no doubt, in our opinion, that the best ship on this or any river in Europe is the AmaWaterways AmaMagna.
Yeah, we are a little biased on that.
Just a bit.
Okay. But here is why, and this is a really big one. The AmaMagna is nearly twice the width of traditional river cruise ships, so it offers way more space throughout. It even has a small theater with a big screen TV. I remember watching James Bond.
We did. Oh my God.
All by ourselves in there because nobody was in there. And, just because it is bigger, it doesn't mean, though, that there are going to be a ton more guests. The capacity is only 196.
Well, if you're talking about the cabins and staterooms, most staterooms are suites on this ship, ranging from like 355 square feet to 710 square feet with full balcony. So this is way bigger, way more space than, I will say, the typical river cruise cabin. This is way more space than any river cruise cabin, which is normally in the 150 to maybe the 200 square feet.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind that these are almost always for two people. So and we mean very, very few cabins on the river cruise ships.
We're very serious.
will hold 3 people. And so that's very different from ocean cruises that are going to be similar in size, but they could be configured for 3 and sometimes 4 people or more if you're in a suite.
Most ships that are going to be sailing on the European rivers will have one main dining room and then maybe like they'll do snacks at the bar. On most all of the AmaWaterways ships that are sailing in Europe, they have a chef's table, which is very like a private dinner on there. It's not only available, but included. But AmaMagna has more choices. 4 distinct restaurants, including the chef's table, Jimmy's Wine Bar Restaurant, named after one of the founders. They have an alfresco restaurant and then also the main dining area.
Yeah, so many options. Now, if you're into making sure you have health stuff on your cruise.
No, we don't do that.
This ship also has a large wellness studio with fitness equipment, massage rooms, even a juice bar, and something that is very, very rare for a cruise ship. And I'm not talking about just a pool.
The Magna even has something that only, I think, one other river cruise ship that I've seen, and that is a pickleball court. And this is a brilliant move and a shot across the bow, pun intended, to other river cruise lines. But their court on board there, it's a dedicated course. It's not a temporary court where you can also play basketball, like it's not like you're playing basketball on any river cruise ship in the world. So
now, the only reason that they can do this on this specific ship again and have lots of space around it is because they are twice the width of other ships cruising the rivers in Europe.
And I remember this 2 years ago in 2023, because I had never played pickleball. And again, we talked about there's a court on the top deck. That was my very first time. Now, I do have my top tip. If you've never played, maybe you play a lot, do this before, let me emphasize, before you have adult beverages.
As a side note, the sport of pickleball is growing so fast that we recently launched a new division of Creative Magic Vacations called Luxury Pickleball Escapes. And we have a little partnership with former Imagineer. And most of you know his name already if you listen to our other show, and that is Hugh Darley.
We're also going to be promoting this for cruising as well, not just on AmaMagna, but ocean cruises as well. I was even reading about yachting is also getting into pickleball. Think below deck.
So crazy.
But again, it's such an incredible phenomenon that we're doing an entire episode on the next travel-inspired show, and that is episode number 160.
Yeah, and I really hadn't even heard about pickleball until like a few years ago.
I know, yeah.
But I absolutely know the idea, and it's been such a craze with people.
And one of our business partners sent us a couple of paddles recently, so we went over to the courts in our neighborhood. All we did was hit the ball back and forth for, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes. I was like,
we're troopers.
Okay, this is fun. But I will say, you did great.
Well, thank you.
It was, I think we're going to have a blast.
No, I think it was fun just hitting the ball back and forth and not really playing a game because we don't know how. But anyway.
Because we have no idea how to keep score. We have no idea. So maybe we'll start packing our custom paddles on future trips. Okay, we're not.
I don't think we're going to be doing that. But I was surprised to learn that the leader in pickleball ocean cruises is Holland America.
I was very surprised when we were doing this research.
So all of their ships have some sort of pickleball court, although it's not a dedicated court because they do put just the lines down. So those are more hybrid. We're seeing a lot of that on the large ships.
Okay, so we did a little bit of a detour there, but back to the Danube we go.
Yeah, so this next thing I did not even know about, and we sailed on the Magna before. They have a water sports platform on the back of the boat. I still want to see this.
I know, I can't believe it, or maybe we didn't know this, or maybe it's new. Yeah, that's the ticket. For those of you who know John Lovett, Saturday Night Live, that will make sense.
I'm a member of Pathological Liars Anonymous. In fact, I'm the president of that organization.
If you would like to experience this ship in person, we'd love to have you join us in May of 2026. Again, just to recap, we are sailing from Budapest, Hungary to Vilshofen, Germany. Literally the same itinerary we just did 2 months ago in March on the Amalia.
Yeah, and we are planning on staying at least 2 nights before the cruise at a very unique hotel in Budapest that we love.
And that is called the Parisi Udvar. And it's gorgeous and just a few blocks from the main square and one of our favorite places, Marty's.
Yeah.
And it's where we stayed in March, and we went to Marty's at least 2 or 3 times on our last trip. It's kind of our thing now. Anytime we are there in the future, Marty's is our go-to place.
Yeah, plus we also found a few more fun restaurants that we love as well.
And we did.
We will be going back.
So this will be our 3rd time sailing on the Danube. It really is that incredible. Again, we're going to be visiting 4 different countries, as we mentioned: Hungary, Slovakia, Austria, and Germany.
And even though we have been before, we are going to be enjoying some new experiences and a warmer season. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, wait, I don't need long pants again.
Well, you probably should. We're in Europe.
Okay, great. Thank you so much again for joining us, whether you are listening to us or, please guys, watch us on YouTube.
And if we can help you with your next vacation, wherever it is in the world, please reach out to us or one of our Creating Magic Vacations travel advisors. And also make sure you're subscribed because next week we're going to be doing a really fun episode all about pickleball vacations.
Until next time, never stop exploring.